On court 3.
On court 2, mixed doubles 50 to 54, Sandy Lance, Ed Lance, Sue Vartanian, Dudley Chen. Court 2. Court 1, men's doubles, 60 to 64. Alfred Aston, Robert Spencer, Christopher Ludlow, Bruce Ludlow. Court 1.
I can't see it. I know it.
You can't see it with the camera?
Nope, can't see it. Oh, I do have it now. I should have had the tripod. Darn it.
On the cloud now. On the cloud.
Yeah.
It's coming out of it though. Yeah. I think I see it coming out of it. Yeah. Barely is feathering now.
I didn't see anything.
I think I see it just feathering out like
Yeah. I should have got the tripod. Darn it. I should have got behind the tree.
yeah, actually usually we see it here more, but see like now
It might have come up in the, maybe, I don't know, maybe the wind blew it over or something.
well we can't see it anymore anyhow.
Well, yeah.
Alexander Levando, Roger Long, Owen Hall, Dave Zaka, Court 2.
On court 3, men's doubles 65 to 69, Chris E., Tom Lee, Francis Warfeld, Lyle Dumers. Court 3, E., Lee, Warfeld, Dumers. On court one, men's doubles 60 to 64. Chris Winters, Hugh Calvert, Christopher Ludlow, Bruce Roberts. Court one, Winters, Calvert, Ludlow, Roberts.
No, we served. We served at one. We're two. I served the other. Excuse it. Three two. 3-1, sorry.
On court three, mixed doubles 70 to 74. Cynthia Warfeld, Francis Warfeld, Ruth Paul, Lyle Dumers. Court three, Warfeld, Ruth and Dumers. Cancel that match on court three. On court three, mixed doubles 70 to 74. Warfeld, Betty Schrank, Alec King. Court three, Warfeld, Schrank, and King.
Three. Oh, my God. Huh.
court 2, men's doubles 50 to 54. Chen Haddad, Paul Zarco. Court 2. On court 3, mixed doubles 60 to 64. Sally Garrett, Charles Winters, Shirley Goodwin, Hugh Calvert. Court 3, Garrett, Winters, Goodwin, Calvert.
There's the competing. Outside? I don't know that. Oh yeah.
Very good, good.
One thing you should do, hit it as hard as you can. I got the bad shoulder.
Good, you're good.
Yeah, let me put the bathroom quick a little out.
On court one, mixed doubles, 60 to 64. Davis Ford, Christopher Ludlow. Sorry, wrong court.
That's not gonna work.
Cancel that match.
Nope.
Davis Ford, Christopher Ludlow, Sally Spencer, Robert Spencer, court one.
down in Fort Myers, and your brother is playing in the senior games in California. Yeah. So we're about ready to wrap it up. Well, maybe the next time I come down that way. Okay, okay. Bye.
On court 2, mixed doubles 70 to 74. Cynthia Warfield, Francis Warfield, Ruth Paul, Lal Dumers. Court 2.
Looking good. Good jacket. Where's the towel you got there?
Yeah.
That's part of, I thought that was part of the jacket.
No, you play and you get all fired up, and then you have to walk around and stand
Yeah.
down and get cool, and
Right.
it's not good.
Yeah. When you work up a
Play
sweat.
continuously, you might get a little bit winded, but your body stays warm.
Yeah,
And that's when you can pull a muscle. When you cool down, you have to heat up again.
Well, I got 4 hours of tape.
Are you really?
I think they're gonna, I'm not sure. I've never taped the game before. So I don't know.
Huh?
I've never taped the game before.
No.
I think when they do it professionally, they're up high. But, yeah.
They are up higher.
That's
Yeah. They probably are shooting from about the top of the scoreboard,
yeah.
so you get a good angle for both courts.
Right.
But they have multiple cameras. They have them at the side too, with a wide lens so you can see both sides. And then they have an inline camera. I was watching that at the Olympics. They have at least 3 cameras on the court.
The problem is like right now, where the camera is, that white line we got.
Yeah.
Yeah. In his face.
Yeah. But when people are more interested to see what their style of play is.
Correct.
You know,
And you don't know that.
yeah. You see how you're moving, you see, you know, you feel what you move, footwork is, and movement, but until you see it, it's a whole different ballgame. Both of them, Chuck's looking into that too. Huh? No.
Yeah, right. Down
I'm making a video of my life and my experiences, and so that in the years to come, my family will get to know who I am and what I had accomplished in my lifetime. I was born in Westport, Connecticut on April 11th, 1925, and I was the third of 6 children, 4 boys and 2 girls. My mother was Josephine Chapa, and my father was Francis James Nazaro, but he went under the name of James. My grandfather on my mother's side was Eduardo Chapa. He was a road builder. And Grandpa, Frank Nazaro, was a foreman with the railroad and traveled wherever he could get work. The Nazaros were 6 boys, all talented in sports. My father excelled in many sports, and I remember him taking me to his games and collecting hats and cigars for their home runs he hit. And I used to bring them home and just put them in the closet. He had an opportunity to join the New York Giants, professional baseball. But at that time, my mother assumed that it was a vagabond life, and she refused to let him go because he was already married and had 2 children. My dad was such an unassuming guy. He was very, very talented, and he played sports just like I would always think of Joe DiMaggio. He had class. Everybody liked him. He played quite a bit of semi-pro ball, and he used to be brought in as a ringer for many of the teams that they used to play years ago on Sandlot, and he used to get $30 a game. And I remember going to them. It was really a lot of fun. And then talking about my childhood, we came from a family who was very loving. I mean, there was no harm in kissing one another. We never left the house without kissing my mother. It was that kind of a family, and I really am proud of that. We had problems in the beginning because during the Depression, my dad couldn't get work, and he finally got out to the WPA, and he was working for $12 a day. And frankly, I think at that time we were really known as being on welfare, but I didn't know that. It never seemed that way, although once a month some woman would come into the house and drop off dry goods like peas and beans, and ketchup and mayonnaise was a no-no. We couldn't have ice cream because that was a luxury. So we had it pretty hard in the beginning, but still there was a tremendous amount of love in our family. We had a fellow whom we called an uncle, but he really wasn't, but he was a very good friend of my dad's, and his name was Jack, and he every Christmas acted like Santa Claus, and he was the only one really who was able to make a Christmas for us. He would bring loads and loads of gifts to us, and that was really a fantastic surprise. And we lived in a neighborhood whereby we could play in safety all day. And most of the time, of course, it was either baseball or basketball or stickball or whatever. And we were in what they would call an Italian neighborhood. And every year they'd have a battalion festival, and there were fireworks at the end of the 3-day festival, which is really, really exciting and striking. And I didn't tell you that. At that later on, my dad finally got on the police force, and that was really his employment for quite a few years. Maybe I should say this now. One of the most devastating things that has happened to me in my lifetime was losing my dad. He was killed in an airplane crash, 65 years old. And he left us too soon because he was in excellent health. Still playing baseball at 60, 62 years old, playing with young guys. And I remember one time he came into the house and said, I was playing third base and a kid came in and slid in and he got caught in the webbing of my glove and I broke his ankle. I said, Dad, if you're going to be that way, you should quit. Let the young kids play the game. You've had your time. But my dad excelled in tennis, golf, football, track. He was a state champion of horseshoes. And of course golf, we played golf a lot, he and I together. So that's basically, in a nutshell, what was happening to me when I was growing up. As I said, I think I was blessed by having a loving family, and we had a good family life. Getting to my history, I played baseball and basketball in high school. I remember reading a lot because I'm a reader. As a matter of fact, I'm doing it right now. I've been reading since I had my bypass back in 2004. I had a triple bypass, and I've read over 500 books. So I enjoy reading, but unfortunately, it doesn't get me moving around. And then again, of course, I lost the desire or the ability to play a good game of golf. So I kind of walked away from that. I feel badly about that, but my physical situation really plays havoc with me. So I don't go out as often as I would like to. I just played last week, but it was a horrible game. I graduated from high school in 1943, and then I was drafted in the Army in July. I graduated in June, and July of 43, I was inducted. I was sent to Camp Fanning in Tyler, Texas, and we trained for 16 weeks. And at that time, during the war, they were looking for replacements, so that was the only training that you got. Was 16 weeks, and then you were ready for the war. And so from Tyler, Texas, they shipped us overseas to Scotland on the Ile-de-France boat. And then eventually we, about 2 or 3 days later, we arrived in Ireland, and that's where I spent about 6 to 8 months in Ireland in the Army there overseas. And after spending that time there, we then were shipped to Wales, and we were trained for the Normandy invasion. And then on June 5th, we trained for about a month, and then we were loaded on a ship on June 5th, and we sailed for France for the June 6th invasion. Right, cut it?
Okay. Good.
I neglected to tell you that when I went to Europe and docked at Scotland, I was shipped to Scotland, to Ireland, and joined the Second Division, who was a part of the First Army. So as I said, we were heading to the coast of France on June 5th for the invasion on June 6th. We boarded landing crafts, and we, as a matter of fact, what we did was came down cargo nets and dropped ourselves into a little landing craft, and then we took off for the coast. You have to understand, at this particular time, a few hours have elapsed, and the Second Division was our job was to support the First Division and the 29th Division, and so we were more or less called the mop-up group, and it wasn't a good duty for us because you never know where the pockets of resistance where it was going to be, but invariably there were quite a few because our aim was to get as much ground as we could so that we wouldn't be pushed back into the sea. And so when we got off our landing crafts, we of course, unfortunately, at that time, the water was a little rough, and the landing craft our landing craft was brought into shore, and everybody scrambled out, and about half a dozen of these poor guys went right down underwater and drowned. And they pulled up the ramp and realized that the landing craft had stopped over a bomb crater. And so the sailor gave it the gun again and got us further into the shore, and we got out, and the water was about to our waist, and we held our rifles up over our head. We had a lot of mortar fire land in the water around us, and 88s were fired, but nothing compared to what the guys did on actual D-Day in the first hour. It was really, really awful. I mean, we lost a lot of soldiers. And at this particular time, I am not, my memory has really taken over and obliterated some of the things that I did the first 3 or 4 days. I just really don't remember many of the things. I think I've been suppressing it for so many years that I've forgotten exactly what I did. I know that I had to do something to survive, and I knew I don't even remember going to the bathroom. I mean, that's how much I've just shut off. I only know certain areas that were traumatic for me, because you have to remember I've never killed anyone in my life, and when we were going in those early days, the first few days, we were not to take prisoners unless we were told to, and it seemed like on the third day they told us that we should start taking prisoners. It wasn't humane, and so we were finding that there were too many Germans hiding up in trees. As a matter of fact, they would tie a chair up in the tree and sit there and wait for us to come up, and then they'd fire on the last guy in the group so that you wouldn't know where the shot came from. And so that really angered us because you never knew when your turn was going to be next and where it was going to come from. So when we were in this little field where there's very high hedgerows, they must have been about 10, 12 feet high, there was a little stone hut, and we approached the hut to make sure that there was nobody in there, and unfortunately we found 3 Germans sitting there having lunch. And when we kicked open the door, of course, they jumped up and knocked their benches down and raised their hands because they thought we were going to shoot them immediately. And we didn't. And we tried to talk to them in English, and they didn't understand us. And so we had a soldier with us that could speak German pretty well, and we communicated that way. We found that they were working a guard duty. They had 3 other guys out there that were going 2 hours on, 2 hours off, and so it's kind of got us a little upset, you know, and so the sergeant said, all right, who wants to take them back? And none of us said a word because we didn't want to leave our soldiers, our friends, our pals. And so he says, well, let's get rid of them, let's get out of here. And that part of it really left a mark on me. And then I really, I remember another night we were walking guard duty at night. And I thought that was ridiculous. But we had to protect the perimeter that we were settled in at night, because the Germans didn't like to fight at night, and neither did we. And there are a couple of times when I heard a bullet go past my ear like a bumblebee, and I had a couple of them go over my head like a firecracker. Those are the sounds that you hear when bullets are coming at you. And luckily, they didn't hit me in the head, you know, because I survived that. So anyway, we, and on, I guess about the 11th of June, we were doing very well. We were a few miles from St. Lo, and that morning at 6:30, that was our objective, was to reach St. Lo and take that little city. And we heard when we were ready to leave the bivouac area, we heard a tremendous explosion off to the side on the road. And 3 or 4 of us guys ran down there to take a look at what happened. And it was our ammunition. It was coming up in a half-track. And the Germans hit it with an 88 and blew up our ammunition. So, unfortunately, our orders were to keep moving. And we went with hardly enough ammunition to do the job. And so about 2 or 3 hours of advancing, all hell broke loose. We heard a lot of noise and tanks, and we heard Germans coming up alongside of us to the right, and nobody knew how many they were because they were out of sight. You have to understand that we were in fields that had hedgerows that were 12 feet high, and we're trapped. I'm trapped in a field with about 12 to 15 guys in this field, and my sergeant is up against the hedgerow, and I am about 5 feet away from him, and I see his machine gun being slammed in between the shrubs, and I could see that thing, and I couldn't fire because he was too close to me. I couldn't do anything. And my sergeant said, be quiet. And they started to open up on the guys further down. And all of a sudden, a few minutes later, over came a hand grenade. And it landed to my right. And I looked at it, and I was going to try to grab it and throw it back, and I realized that he probably had a time that it was going to go off pretty quickly. And so all I did was I tried to protect my face and my arms and stuff, and the hand grenade went off, and it blew me up over my back. And I remember I almost was knocked out, but I was still able to function. The sky was yellow, green, grass was yellow and orange. I mean, I had a hard time getting back to normal. And when I finally did, I righted myself on my stomach, and I looked up at my sergeant, and he's peppered with shrapnel. and he's bleeding. And he says, "Get out of here." I said, "No." He said, "Get out of here. They'll hit you with another hand grenade." I said, "But Joe, if I move forward, he's going to see me." He said, "Take your chances." And so I did exactly what he told me to do. I started shuffling back, away from the gun, away from the hopefully a hand grenade. And I got about 20 or 30 yards, and of course they decided to concentrate on me. And they fired at me once, and the rounds went to my right, and I moved over to the left. And the second burst was to my right again, and I moved over to my left. And then finally, the third burst got me in the left shoulder, left upper arm. And it just knocked my arm in back of my body. And believe me, I don't know what they did while after I was wounded, why they didn't shoot me again. I really can't answer that. Maybe the guy upstairs was just there for me. It wasn't my time. And so I was just helpless. I just lost it. I thought I couldn't move. I was just in shock. And I heard my buddy say, "Get over here, Nazaro." And I said, "I can't." He said, "Yes, you can." I said, "I can't." He said, "There's nothing wrong with your legs. Get over here." And I looked and I saw that he was about 10 yards in back to my left, and he's crouched behind a large log that was about 18 inches in diameter and only about 5 feet wide, left in the field. And so I quickly shuffled over there. I don't know how I did it because I had my arm was attached to my body only because my cuffs were tight to from my uniform. And so that it was holding my arm into my clothing. And I got over there, and for about 3 or 4 minutes, and all of a sudden we see a hand grenade come. And it bounced on the log and bounced on the other side. And we quickly shuffled to get away from the log, and the hand grenade went off, and it blew the log up in the air, and I had my hand out, and the log came down and missed my fingers by 2 to 3 inches. And I lost my cool. I stood up, I looked at them, I turned around, and I ran for that next hedgerow. And I made 2 or 3 steps into that hedgerow, and how I found the right positions for my feet without stumbling, I have no idea. But when I reached the top through all this shrubbery, and I was starting to go through the shrubbery, they fired at me again, and the bullet went through my right wrist and out the other side. And I actually saw myself being wounded. I saw the white flesh coming out. And I tumbled on the other side, and I landed right next to my captain. And his famous words were, "What's the matter, Nazaro?" Well, I didn't have nice words to say to him. But I had forgotten that we didn't have any ammunition. We didn't have much ammunition. And I said, "Why aren't you taking care of us? We got guys trapped out there." He said, "Can't help it." He said, "We just ran out of ammunition. We're waiting for some backup." And so from that point on, miraculous things happened for me. Within 10 or 15, I gave myself a shot of morphine, and 10 or 15 minutes, here comes some medics with a stretcher, and they pick me up, and they take me back to the rear, more or less. But at this particular time, we're still trapped. They still got us sealed off. They're in back of us, which they shouldn't be. And but they picked me up and they brought me to the right side of this field. And the Germans made an attack now with tanks, and there was a lot of stuff going on. And the poor guys, they dropped my stretcher and got out of there because they don't have a gun. I mean, without any ammunition or anything. So I yelled at them and said, hey, wait a minute, just take me a little further to the right. There's a road that drops down. And so they came back and picked up my stretcher and ran towards that end of the field and lowered my stretcher down this embankment, which was about 10 feet. And then the road was below that particular level. And as soon as my stretcher stopped at the base of that bank, up came an ambulance. And the captain jumped out and looked at me and he said, you're in bad shape, soldier. I said, get me out of here. And he said, we'll do the best we can. And right away he gave me a plasma. And then they loaded me in the ambulance and they brought me back to Battalion Aid. And then they loaded us on some 2.5 or 3 ton trucks with slats on the side. And they put the stretchers in there and put a Red Cross flag. And they brought us back to the coast. We were about maybe 20 to 25 miles in at the time. And they brought me back to the coast, and unfortunately, as we were going back, these darn snipers were firing at the truck coming back, and a couple of guys got hit again, which was unfortunate. But they brought us back, and they had erected 3 tents for the wounded, and I spent 3 days, I think, there. And the first day, there was hardly any help because I was there at about 12 o'clock, 12:30, and they did not operate on me until 6 o'clock at night. And I got another scare because when I was lying there on the ground waiting for my turn, a priest was giving me my last rites because I had lost a lot of blood. And what had happened was the hand grenade split my chest, and I had hundreds of pieces of shrapnel in my liver. And so they had to do something and take out those specks of shrapnel, but I still have a lot in me. They couldn't get it all out. And so the second day, nurses came in for the first time. And that was on the 12th. And that was a surprise to us. And then on the, I guess the 13th or 14th of June, they flew us back on the C6s to London. And we were there for 1 day, and the Germans finally launched the V2s. And they really did some damage in London. And so the powers to be decided that we were to get out of there, and so they loaded us on trucks and brought us, shipped us to Birmingham, away from the coast, the East Coast anyway. And I was there for 30 days. And then I was brought back by a hospital ship to Massachusetts, into Worcester, Massachusetts, into a hospital named Lovell General Hospital. And I spent quite a few months there simply because my left arm could not heal. It would never knit properly. They kept breaking it and resetting it. And this went on for about 7 or 8 months. And then finally they decided that they had to cut my bone in step form and join it together like a carpenter would join 2 pieces of wood. And they took a bone from my leg and put it across my bone and screwed it down with 4 stainless steel screws. And then finally it took, and I spent 16 months there in the hospital. And then I was shipped to Camp Upton in Long Island, and I was discharged there a couple of weeks later. And so that's my experience in the war. I am a lucky guy for being able to survive. I hate to tell you, but I've been seeing a psychiatrist and a psychologist for several months. I have been diagnosed with post-traumatic stress, and I just can't get it out of my system. My psychologist tells me that I have survivor's remorse, and I think about that a lot. So anyway, I got home. They discharged me, and I didn't know what I wanted to do. I floundered around for a few months, getting drunk every night, blowing about $4,000 on savings that I had on drinking. And I suddenly smartened up. My mother was really upset, and I decided that I had to do something with my life. So I enrolled in a community college for 2 years. And I always wanted to be an artist and a commercial artist, and so I eventually enrolled in the Parsons School of Design in New York, and I spent 3 years there. And I had a situation whereby I was given as much schooling as I thought I needed before I went out to work, and that was because of my disability. And so, as I said, I spent 5 years going to school. And I finally got out, and I immediately got a job in New York with a studio, and was with them for a while. And I ran into a fella in Connecticut, where I live, who needed some artwork, freelance, and I took on some of his assignments, and I began to do a tremendous amount of work for him, and I realized that, hey, if I keep doing this and not getting paid, I'm never going to get my money, because it ended up to being a substantial amount of money that he owed me. Well, he turned around and he offered me part of the business, and so I took it, and we had an agency, and I was with him for 9 years, and then I eventually decided to go off on my own. And I had done that for several years, up until 1973, when we moved to Florida. But let me get back to some of my notes here. Well, let me get back to I jumped ahead a little bit. My first job, of course, was with a studio in New York, as I said. But in the meantime, after that first year, I met Phyllis and we married in 1951. And we had 3 boys and a girl, and we're proud of them. Larry is our oldest. He has 3 sons. Ronnie is our second boy. He has no children, but he raises alpacas. And Jimmy has 1 daughter, and Michaela has 2 sons, my daughter. That's my only daughter. She's the apple of my eye. So anyway, I was a partner in this advertising agency, and I was a member of the Junior Chamber of Commerce. I was a member of the Camera Club, and of course, I ended up being president of the Camera Club. I chaperoned Miss Connecticut, and took her to Atlantic City. She didn't win though. And in my times there, we moved after Larry was born. We moved to Fairfield, Connecticut, and that's where we spent most of our adult life as a young couple, married couple. I played a lot of sports. I played golf, tennis, I skied, I played handball, I played paddleball. I won several trophies of golf. I played a lot of golf, and I enjoyed golf very much. But as I said, that's not one of my things I do today. I appeared on Concentration TV show and won quite a few gifts. Won a trip to Bermuda, which was fantastic. Won 1,000 cigars. So we then came to Florida in 1973, and we moved to Coral Springs, which is down south, right west of Fort Lauderdale. And I worked at an art studio and a couple of agencies. And I wasn't very happy because I'm not the kind who likes to take orders from somebody. I like to be my own person. So I decided I'd go back into business again. And then, strangely enough, the reason we came to Florida was that we decided that 85 hours a week was not the way we wanted to live. So we decided to come to Florida, since we were coming every year, that we decided to come to Florida to live. Mm-hmm. And so I gave up my studio and came south to Coral Springs. And but then, as I said, after about a couple of years, I opened up my own ad agency again, and a publishing business in Coral Springs. Became quite successful. At one point, I was the only advertising agency in Coral Springs, but as time went on, a few others came in, and they left because I still held on. And I did a tremendous amount of work for Westinghouse, who was building Coral Springs, and I would venture to say that we were responsible for building Coral Springs because we did any number of full-page ads pushing the developments in that town. I was a member of the Chamber of Commerce, and I was on the beautification committee in the city, and I also got myself involved with the Broward School Board, and that about kind of sums up to the point where we decided that I would no longer work. I retired, and we moved to the Villages in 1997. And as my family knows, that I am heavily involved in art, and I have been formerly a vice president and director of the VA, which is the Visual Arts Association. And I enter a lot of the local shows, and I've won many ribbons, concentrating now on colored pencil artwork, and I enjoy that very much. I'm a member of the photo club here, the Villagers Photo Club. I create ads for my son and his business, and my daughter-in-law, they're in business together. And since March 4th, after my bypass surgery, I have read over 500 books. I played a great deal of golf in my lifetime. One time, a few years back, I had the opportunity to putt for $10,000. And that became a real funny situation because I missed the first putt. And then the gentleman running the show said, "Why don't you take another shot for last for the crowd?" Because there was about 60 people watching this thing. And I put the ball down and put it, and I made the putt. But no money. And that's about my life, as much as I can give you. I'm no magical person. I'm just an average Joe who had a very tough start because we didn't have any money in our family. And I was determined to make something of myself, which I am proud that I did. I raised 4 kids. We've been happily married for 57 years, and I wouldn't trade it for anything. Thank you.
Yeah.
I mean, I just, if I like something, and